Oh,
Hey, Dika! That's
very
nice to
good.
see you.
How are you, Bhante? Long time.
Yeah, long time. And Prabhjot also. We just
Yes,
met,
sir.
but but it was a good experience over here. It was a learning experience for us in Golden Pagoda, Arunachal.
Hi, too.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'm gonna say hi to everyone first. Welcome to their
Okay.
special TWIM Mingle session. This is part of the Samatha Vipassana Trust. And we are thrilled to have Bhante Dhammagavessi here with us today. And Bhante will be sharing his incredible journey with TWIM. Of course, I'm gonna ask him some questions, but you guys also can just raise your hand and ask Bhante directly. It's totally fine. We just mingle here. And yeah, Bhante, again, it's wonderful to have you here. And maybe can you start by telling us a bit about your background and how you first discovered TWIM?
Most of my life I have not done meditation, and I was busy, and I had a lot of family issues and all these things, and I was working from very early age. But I had an idea of meditation because when I was studying in about 6th or 7th standard, I had heard Goenkaji's talk. So I was inclined to spiritual talks and everything. So in Sunday morning, they used to have a talk about the spiritual guru would come and give their kind of discourse. And I was attracted to Goenkaji and how he was explaining this process. So I had an idea that I have to do a meditation, but for 30 years, or maybe 20, 25 years, I just could not find the time. So ultimately, I did find the time in about late in my career also. So then I went for the meditation course. After that, I found that there was some issue which was happening because I had experienced a very fine feeling. And based on that, I was practicing, and then I had this experience once again. But I was chasing that experience. And then what happened was that while chasing that experience, I was getting a headache and everything. So I thought, headache does not seem to be a right thing for doing meditation. If I'm doing meditation, why am I getting a headache? So I thought I'll search on the YouTube. So when I searched about Vipassana, headaches, the first search I got was of Bhante Dhammagavessi's talk. He was talking about this same thing about the over stressing which we do in meditation and how one-pointed meditation leads to headaches. He was talking about the same thing. So I said, oh, this is very kind of important talk for me. So I listened to it for 1 or 2 times, and then I said, okay, I will incorporate the relaxed step. But that time Bhante was giving a talk in I think a Vietnamese temple. And that temple, he gave a talk about Anapanasati. The instruction he was given was Anapanasati. That was very early instructions. When he started out with Anapana. His first book was also Tranquil Wisdom Insight Meditation, Anapanasati. So that was a book or a commentary on Anapanasati. So I started with, I know breath meditation from Goenkaji. So I said, okay, this is a very good thing. I'll start with the relaxed step. So I incorporated the relaxed step in my this thing. What is this? Yes. So it must be the AI question. Confirm your language. So then I thought, okay, this is an important thing. Then I started doing it more and more. But there was some thing which was missing also because I was not doing the whole 6 hours. I was relaxing on the in breath and relaxing on the out breath. And that is how I was kind of doing the meditation. It helped me avoid the headaches. And it also helped me prolong my sitting. So I was sitting longer. I was, for the first time in my life, I think I sat for more than 1 hour. In Goenka's system also, I never sat for 1 hour. There is an aditana period. So I would be in a lot of pain in that period. So then I thought, okay, I can sit for 1 hour. That was like a miracle, for me. Then I continued with the Anapanasati for a long time. Then what happened is that I decided to leave my job and go and become a monk. That was a big leap because I have these experiences in meditation and coming in touch with Buddhism or Buddha's teachings kind of changed my mindset and how I looked at the world. So the Buddha's teaching about impermanence, the Buddha's teaching about the dukkha, the Buddha's teaching of the impersonality kind of influenced me because I could see from that lens. I now had a lens of dukkha. Then I know what I am facing is dukkha. I did not even know what I was facing and what are the frustration I am having. These are called dukkha. So, but when the Buddha is giving certain things, he is giving it in a very concise manner, but it has a very deep meaning. So you can understand impermanence in a very shallow way, and you can understand in a very kind of a deep way, or you can understand in the ultimate way also. By understanding impermanence, we can also know that there is no personality, or there is no soul also. So or there is no self. That also can be, so they can be very deep, you can go in each concepts. But in the initial things also, you can learn a lot. So then I went to Mahatma Nanachar, which was in Thailand. And where there I ordained, I continued with that. But when I was doing that, I was getting some other experiences, meditation experiences. Those other meditation experiences were not something which was giving a change in perspective. So I would have that experience. I'll be in a blissful state. I can sit for say 2 hours, 3 hours without any pain, and I would be just kind of in a blissful way. And then after 1 week of this, from 3 hours sitting, it will go to 2.5 hours. It will go to 2 hours. And then somebody will say something to me and I would lose my temper. And I had always a short fuse, I would just blow up like anything. So in my work also, everybody knew me for my anger. So then that would happen and I said, oh, what happened now? All this experience I had, and I had this realization of the impermanence, I had realization of prapancha, I had this realization, but why did I become so angry now? So that thing was bothering me. So then I said that I have to go deeper. So I asked my friend from India, he sent me a pen drive with the talks of Bhante. Then he sent me a full big packet. I think I gave it to Sarmaji, the talks which are printed. So there were transcriptions were there. So that transcriptions was sent. So I was reading Bhante's talks. I was listening to Bhante's talks and I was getting some idea. And Bhante was promising that you can progress in one retreat itself. You can progress in... so I said, okay, this is a nice thing, I can progress, but I don't want to by listening, because when I did it first time, I did not follow the instructions, or I'm not getting the result which the Bhante is talking about. So then I decided to leave Vatparanachar, which was another story, which is a big story, but I ended up with Bali. And I did in 2016, I did the first retreat with Bhante. Before that, I did one retreat with David, online retreat, but that was also so. I just got the idea, okay, this is how the meditation is going, and what I was making a mistake was not doing the 6 hours, but just doing the relaxed step again and again. By doing the relaxed step again and again, I was suppressing my these things. Later on, I kind of figured it out. So then I went to Bhante, and then I was surprised that every day I had a progress. Every day I was in a different state. And Bhante would say, now you are doing this. I was saying, how can I be in this state? Then next day, Bhante would say, you are now over here. And I would say, is it correct? I don't think I am over here. But then I got confidence in this practice, and by 7th day I went to Bhante and said, I want to ordain under you. I was ordained in Thailand, and Bhante said, go to Sri Lanka. So that's how I basically got in touch with Bhante and started the practice in reality, in earnest and in kind of the proper way from the Bali retreat, which I did.
Okay, it's interesting. But I have a question, Bhante, regarding your personal life in the past, like when you decided to become a monk. How long did you need to make that decision?
So that decision it was in two stages. At one stage, what I had done was I had left my current job and with Citibank and was decided to become a monk. So at that time, what happened is there was a time period where I did not do anything. Then I thought that I am becoming a monk without kind of having a job as of now, or without kind of no other choice or an option to leave. So I thought that would be a bad mind state to kind of become. Then I'll have all these ideas of what if I had done that, or what if I had done that. So that stage I had decided to leave. So then I said, no, I have to first see what I can do in life. So then what I did was I took up another job. It was a startup by ex-Citibanker itself. So I got a manager of customer service, which was a kind of good. I was assistant manager over there. So title-wise, at least it was a better title. Then they were wanting to promote me to in charge of operations and customer service. So, but that time I thought, okay, I have seen this other office also. All the things which are there, which was corporate dukkha, which I called. All those corporate dukkha was there in the other small organization also. So I thought, okay, this is something I don't want in my life. Now I have something with me. I had no debt. I had no financial obligations. I was totally in charge of my life. And then I said, okay, I'm now leaving. So it took me about 8 months to kind of take that decision. 8 months to come. So first time I took the decision, I dropped it because I thought that maybe I may regret it later, because I'm not leaving anything, because I have nothing now, and I'm just going for the easiest option, which is there to kind of go into a monastery. So I said I will wait. I did the job. I experienced the whole cycle once again, and then I was very clear that okay, I want to do this. Then what helped me was also Osho's talk. His talk was in Hindi. His talk was that some question somebody asked is, I want to become a monk, but I am afraid of the troubles which will arise with my decision. Then Osho is giving him advice about why you should become a sannyasi. And why the world which is there is something which is all impermanent, and whatever you leave now, you will also leave when you die, So that was a quote I liked a lot because that was a kind of a deciding factor for me, that whatever there is you have and you are attached to currently, that you will have to leave when you die. So why not just do it now? And there is later on I found out that there is a quote by Ajahn Chah which says, you die before you die. So that is like you give up before you have to actually give up. You die before you die. So becoming a monk was for me in the same way. It was a death before the death. Means I want to give up everything. But what would I be able to take after my death? So at that time, I was a very rationalist and objectivist. I was following Ayn Rand, and I was an atheist. So maybe I'm still an atheist, but that time I had a very rationalist view. So I could not believe in the view that there is an afterlife. But I thought that, see, there can be only two options over here. One option is that this is the only life which is there. And then the other option is there is a life which is continuing. So even if this body goes, there is something which continues. So what is that I get from this life? I get pleasure. So I can go. I have no financial obligations now, and I will earn more. I know I was this Jaggle company which I left is now a listed company. And maybe it is a maybe 10, 20, 30 million valuation or something like that. It's a very good company now. So I was ensured that I would have a good progress, and the replacement for me also was a VP over there. So I would have been in a good position. So I knew that that was ensured. So what can I do with my time? I can have a hedonistic lifestyle, which is enjoying and consuming. So I can consume better food, and I can consume movie and music and all these things. So I thought that if this is just the one life, then what does that matter if I am enjoying my life or I am in suffering? If I go in a monastery and I am suffering over there, so what does that matter? Because this is just a one life. But what would it mean if there was more than one life? More than the life which is there currently, more than which is there, then what is something which I can carry? I cannot carry all this fun I have had. I cannot carry the wealth I may have created. So what I can carry further? What I can carry further is my understanding. Because if the mind is traveling, then whatever understanding I generate from my actions in this lifetime, I'll be able to carry. So I thought, okay, then that makes a lot of sense to me. And then I decided to take the final decision. So that final decision also had to be a very slow process. I had to write a written letter. That letter had to go to Vatpananachat, and then from Vatpananachat I got a written response. I still have that letter from Vatpananachat. Ajahn Siripanyo, who was a temporary monk over there, the head monk, because Ajahn Kevri had gone to Germany. So he had written to me that you come and we will see what happens. I cannot give you any promises. So that is how I ended up in deciding to kind of leave.
Okay, that's really inspiring actually. But how if somebody wants to become a monk, but the parents holding them back? What is the advice for you, Bhante, for those people?
See, I am really sorry, but I don't have any kind of real life advice because my parents had passed away by that time. So I had my father pass away when I was in very young. Okay, I was in 6th standard when my father passed away, and my mother passed away in 2011. Okay, so after that only I had done the first meditation course, and after that only I decided to become a monk. So for me, it would have been a difficult task to even consider, because see, sannyas is as a concept in India is there. We were Baha'is, and then I kind of become an atheist. I just could not believe in a God system. So my mother was Baha'i, but she was also very free in her. She used to say that I am a humanist first, and then I am a Baha'i. So she was also very kind of open to that. So religion was not a very big thing in our house. So that would have been a little difficult for me to leave. Sannyas, I had many times thought about kind of leaving all these things and becoming a sannyasi. I had also gone into, there is one sect in Gujarat. So I think what is his name? I forget now. But one of the colleague was already decided to become a sannyasi over there. So I had decided that I will become a sannyasi, but I could not leave because of my mother. Because my mother was having cancer, and she could not take her. My sister was not she had also not married, but it was difficult for me to kind of leave her. So I don't have a positive advice, but see, one thing I can see from the other people who have successfully, so let's say second-hand information, who had successfully had parents and had permission from their parents to become monks. So one of the things was that the clarity which you have about the decision. So if you have a very good clarity about your decision to become a monk, then it is easier for you to convince the parents. Then second thing is you can give that clarity to your parents by taking your parents to where you are going to stay. So first what you do is go there and stay yourself and see the process which is there, because many people who would come to Vatpananachar would have come with a big ideas of I'll become a monk and I'll stay here forever. There's a kid who came over there. First gecko he saw over there in that kuti, he after 2 days he left, and he had come with all the idea that I'll stay there forever. So 2 days he left. Now there is another person who had come who was so convincing. He was Italian. He was so convincing and so kind of enthusiastic that they normally keep a lay person for a month and then ordained as a permanent, which is like a short-term white. They call it pakao. So they ordained after a month of scrutiny. This guy was immediately after 2 days he was ordained, because there was an ordination happening, and said they ordained him. And after that he found out that he took a lot of time just to eat. And as a pakao you have to be eating fast and then help other monks. So he could not handle that. So then he had to he decided to leave after a week. And then he did not have money to leave. Then he had to arrange for the money. So he had to stay for 1 month in that position, with that whole situation being very bad for him, that he was the last person eating. Everybody has left, but he's still eating the food. He had some metabolic issues, so he needed a lot of calories. That's a normal thing. There are normal people who are there in the population who need a lot of food, because they have a higher metabolic rate. So those things one has to be careful about, that you are clear that where you are going and where you are staying. So there was one German who stayed in Vatpananachar for about say 6 months or something like that. Then he ordained as a monk. Then he, as a samanera, you don't require parents' consent for that. He did not have the parents' consent. So they said that where are you living? How are you living? We are not sure. So then with the help of the local monks like Ajahn Kevli, they brought their parents over to the place Vatpananachar, to Thailand. Then they came and stayed in one of the houses built for visitors, and then they went around, they met the monks, they saw what they're eating, how they're living, and they said, oh, this is not so bad, we are imagining kind of the worst, and this is if you want to stay, we are happy now, because he was well respected, well loved, and well taken care of, So then they said, okay, so the first thing is you are clear about what you want to do. And the thing is that there is a formula for monks in Vatpananachar. The formula is that out of 10 lay people who come to become monks, there will be only one person left who will actually become the white pakao, white clothes person. Out of those 10 pakaos, only one will become a samanera, and out of 10 samaneras, only one will become a ordained monk. So that is a 1,000 to 1 ratio. So a lot of people have this idea of becoming a monk, but when they actually are faced with that situation, they really don't want to. So before asking your parents for permission and all these things, be sure that you yourself want to become a monk, and that is just not an idea. So you just go to some places like Vatpananachar and stay there. And if you stay there, and you will see that you have to face all these things. So initially they gave me a very bad kuti, where it was a very small kuti, and it had geckos and all these things. So I stayed there and I was happy with that, because in my mind I was ready for everything, I was ready for sleeping under the tree. So those kind of things one has to be very sure of, that when you go there, it was difficult for me initially, but I had determination, so I did, those things did not matter.
Determination.
Yeah.
let me check about the chat. There's a for chat. Oh, it's just like say hello. Maybe Dika, do you have any question?
You
Come
have no
on.
questions.
He gonna explain to us, Bhante. It's the other way around.
Yeah. So he's also teaching and everything, huh?
Yeah, he's really full of wisdom, Dika. Because before this TWIM Mingle started, we have a talk, and when I chit chat with him, I feel like okay, after this TWIM Mingle, I'm gonna start meditation again. That's what I talked to him, and he's really good. He's really good.
Very good.
How
So
about teacher?
one thing,
Yeah.
if you have any questions, I think that would be better, because then it is better to kind of progress the conversation.
Sure, Bhante, what do you want to say?
So one thing I can say is about the practices that whenever I was looking at practice, the way I was looking at the practice changed as I progressed in my understanding. So initially, when I used to do practices, like I used to do some of the practices given by an guru. So what are the biggest problems you face as a Theravada bhikkhu, and how do you overcome them? So that's a good question. When your perspective, you have to be ready to see that your perspective changes as you practice. So certain practices are just taking you into a calm, meditative state, but you are not able to get insights into what is happening. So, but when your kind of attitude is to escape, then that is very helpful for you. I was doing an Om meditation initially, and I used to be able to just sit for only 15 minutes. So that was the maximum I could sit. But by doing this Om meditation, my mind would get a little calmer. And that was the best thing for me, That was because I wanted to escape all the tensions of work and family and all those things, and finances and all those things. So that was my aim. Then when I did the Goenka, there was experience. I actually found a profound experience. The body was made of molecules I could feel, and it was no substance and all those things. So that was the experience. So I was chasing experience. Then when I was in this thing, Thailand, there was a different kind of experience I was chasing. Then I realized when Bhante, I went to Bhante and did retreat, that insight is the most important thing. So you have to be kind of ready to kind of change your perspective of the practice. And when you come to insight, that is when you can grow a lot. And that is when result in the change in behavior. So there is a lot of change, and there is a lot of change to be done. Still, there is a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
But when I think it's a start for me as of now. So I'll just say, I'll take up this question. What are the biggest problems you face as a Theravada bhikkhu, and how do you overcome them? See, the biggest problem I face as an individual is that I have a kind of outlook for meditation. So I primarily want to be a meditation monk. Because of that, the support system for meditation monks in India at least is not there. So a monk who is supported for their practice, and not just their ability to teach, or not their ability to do ceremonies, is a very kind of unique thing in India. The concept of this, the monk is itself a person who is striving for awakening, and the support you give to that monk is for the support of the awakening which the monk is seeking. That is why this is the greatest merit you get by supporting the Sangha. And by supporting such monks, you are able to support the long-term continuation of the teaching of the Buddha. So that kind of support itself has sustained this teaching for 2,600 years. And without that support, the teaching which you get and you benefit from would not be there for you. And that is why this thing has been a very big problem for me, because over here most of the monks are struggling to kind of survive. And fortunately, because whatever good karma or good karma of my teacher, I got to go into Sri Lanka, where they support me reasonably. I can do my work also for the other people, like organizing SVT and all those things. And I can also do my own practice. And I have also opportunity to come and teach physical retreats. And then that aspect which is there is something I have not been overcome, in the sense that to get a place over here, to have a physical location, and all those things are become a very kind of a difficult task as a monk. But there are places where I am getting support, like Sri Lanka, but I have to every year go for the this visa process. Visa process is a very complicated process.
But you're Indian, right, Bhante?
Yeah.
You're Indian, right?
So I am Indian, so I have to go and get a visa every time I am in Sri Lanka. So every year I have to do that. So I can stay there, but it is all impermanent. No? What if the government changes? What if their attitude towards Indians change? Or what if something happens? So bureaucrat, some law is there that you cannot renew more than 5 times. Like it happened in Thailand also, that they brought in a law that you cannot renew the visa more than 5 times. So many of the monks had to leave Atmananachat, go to their respective countries, stay there for 1 year, and then next year come back. So all these things are impermanent. So those are the kind of issues. But other than that, I don't face any issues. I have been very kind of fortunate that I have a very good support also. So I have been able. There are a few people who support me. Maybe 5 or 6 people are there who support me. But those 5 and 6 people who are supporting me regularly, their support has been kind of invaluable, you know. So I have never kind of struggled that I needed this and I could not get it. And certain times...
is that because of TWIM meditation?
Because of that. So one thing I can say is that there is a time is, I think, running out. It is saying
it's just
4 minutes. 4.5
minutes. I still have another question before we close.
Okay.
Like I haven't do meditation for a period of time, let's say like 2 weeks, and I'm trying to meditation again. What advice you gonna give to me?
You are doing the meditation.
I haven't, Bhante.
I haven't.
I was lazy.
So,
I'm not gonna say
so
I'm lazy.
Don't give a label to yourself, because it's a process, not a state of mind. So don't give any that I am lazy. Laziness arises in me whenever I want to do meditation. So change the perspective and how you use the words, and that will make a difference. So one thing is that you should understand that whatever this is there, process is there, is transferable to daily life. So try and bring this aspects of 6 hours, aspects of having an object of meditation. Bhante used to say, just have the smile as your object of meditation while you do all your tasks. Just by smiling and being with the smile, when you are doing your work on the computer also, you can just be smiling and do the thing. If your mind gets distracted, then recognize, release, relax, re-smile, and come back and do your task. And make your task your meditation. If you bring that thing and then you do this at least for 4 or 5 times in a day also, that is also better than not doing it
anything.
Zero. So then what would happen is that this will give you impetus when you sit in the meditation, or when you get in the lunchtime, then maybe you can sit for say 15 minutes and see what how the mind is there. Like Seinfeld used to say that he used to go in lunchtime and do meditation. He had a different mantra meditation, but 15 minutes he used to do. So then the half of the day he could spend again, he said, because that made it possible for him to spend the next half of the day, because he did 15 minutes meditation at the lunchtime. So just do what is possible, and this is transferable to the daily thing. So just keep smiling as your object, and smile. And your wallpaper also is background is also smile. So
smile.
Just keep that going. So there's someone. Could you elaborate more on some perspective changes on Dhamma while you were learning with Bhante Dhammagavessi? So see, I'll tell you one thing about the perspective change which I had when I was doing the practice is about the impersonal nature of thoughts, which I could not see when I was doing the Anapanasati also. Because when you have this space to observe your mind and your attention going from one thing to another, that is the definition Vimal Ramsey gives, that observing how your mind's attention goes from one thing to another, and to know how these things are impersonal. So this impersonal perspective, when you come, then I am afraid becomes I have fear arising in me. So that is the perspective change, which I think everybody has to bring it, to not take everything personally. So I am angry, anger is arising in me. So when that perspective change is there is a distance between what is happening and how it is going. So now it is less than 1 minute.
Yeah, okay. So maybe we just conclude. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you so much, Bhante, for sharing your insights and experience with us. And your words are truly inspiring for us. And I hope that we can get the wisdom. Okay.
Thank you.